What's going on YouTube? Bendable Straws back with another Envoy exclusive video for you guys today. And we're going to be going over the Vigilante stats, the kits, the uniques, and how many gear pieces it's going to take to get them to G20. Let's go ahead and get started. Starting off with Daredevil Modern. He is a hero, city, skill, protector, vigilante, recommending striker. He does take the unique of shield tech, and he is 3 pieces of gear to go to G20. At 1.2 million power, he has 11.1 million health, 629,000 damage, 381,000 armor, 85,000 focus, 99,000 resistance, 130% crit damage, 10% crit chance, 118 speed, 0/025, and 200% accuracy. The basic is Assault and Battery. Attack primary target for 280% damage. Rebound chain to 2 adjacent targets for 280% damage. And flip 3 negative effects to positive effects on self and all vigilante allies. Definitely recommending striker. The special is Law and Order with an energy cost of 4/4. Apply slow for 2 turns, defense down for 2 turns, and offense down for 2 turns to primary target. Attack primary target for 300% damage. Bonus attack primary target for 300% damage. In raids, you'll be flipping all negative effects into positive effects on self and all vigilante allies. You will heal self and all vigilante allies for 15% of this character's max health. And you will gain taunt for 2 turns and defense up for 2 turns. Oh, my apologies. And the T4 is right here. As well as the T4 here, it is for the flip 3 negative effects and on self and vigilante allies as well. Alright, moving on to the ultimate with an energy cost of 4 of 6. Attack primary and adjacent targets for 380% damage. Apply 1 vulnerable up to a maximum of 5. Clear all negative effects from self and all allies. Gain taunt for 2 turns. Apply defense up for 2 turns and immunity for 2 turns to self and all vigilante allies. And you're going to heal self and all vigilante allies for 20% of this character's max health. And the T4 is listed right here above. The passive is Born Again. On spawn, if this character has 4 or more vigilante allies, gain taunt for 2 turns and safeguard for 1 turn. Apply 2 deflect and defense up for 2 turns and immunity for 1 turn to self and all vigilante allies. When an enemy with vulnerable is attacked, heal self and all vigilante allies for 5% of this character's max health. In raids, heal for 20% instead, and clear 1 negative effect from self and all vigilante allies. Vigilante allies gain 100% accuracy. That's incredible. Gain 25% block chance per vigilante ally, and gain 15% block amount per vigilante ally. If this character has 4 more vigilante allies, this character and all vigilante allies cannot gain bleed. That's really big. On offense, if this character has 4 or more vigilante allies, lower the damage of enemies with vulnerable by 30%. Wow. This will not stack with other effects such as offense down. That is incredible, and that is the T4 there. And there you have it for Daredevil Modern. Moving on to Hitmonkey. Hitmonkey is a hero, city, skill, blaster, vigilante, recommending striker. Hitmonkey is a 3-piece character for G20 with a unique of Gravitonium. At 1.2 million power, he has 10.4 million health, 677,000 damage, 336,000 armor, 101,000 focus, 78,000 resistance, 130% crit damage, 10% crit chance, 127 speed, wow. 0% dodge chance, 0% block chance, 25% block amount, and 100% accuracy. The basic is Macaque Attack. Attack primary target for 300% damage. Apply 2 bleed for 2 turns. If this character has 4 or more vigilante allies, prolong the duration of all negative effects by 1 up to a maximum of 3. This is very important because that can extend trauma, stun. It's pretty much all along the board, because usually you would see something that says excludes so-and-so negative effect, but this prolongs every single negative effect. Very, 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 very good. And the T4 is this right above. The special is Monkeying Around. Energy cost of 4/4. Attack primary target for 250% damage. Apply 1 vulnerable up to a maximum of 5. And prolong the duration of all negative effects up by 1 up to a maximum of 3. Chain to 4 targets within 2 spaces of the previous target. For 250% damage, apply 1 vulnerable up to a maximum of 5. And prolong the duration of all negative effects by 1 up to a maximum of 3. This attack gains 25% crit damage against targets that have vulnerable, and counterattack does not break this chain. And there you have it for the T4. The ultimate is Assassinate with an energy cost of 6/6. Attack primary target for 300% piercing. Apply stun for 1 turn and trauma for 2 turns. Bonus attack the enemy with the highest damage, ignoring taunt and stealth for 300% piercing. And in raids, you'll apply stun for 1 turn and trauma for 2 turns. Apply speed up for 1 turn and offense up for 2 turns to self and all vigilante allies. And you will gain 1000% extra focus for this attack. Another reason of why he is a really great striker. And the T4 is there above. The passive is Saru Assassin. I believe they may have misspelled this here. On turn or on any enemy with vulnerable turn, if this character's health is full, attack the enemy with the highest health, ignoring taunt and stealth for 200% piercing. Apply 1 vulnerable up to a maximum of 5. If this character's health is not full, heal self for 10% of this character's max health. On enemy death, generate 1 ability energy for self, and in raids, generate 1 ability energy for all vigilante allies. While any enemy has vulnerable, gain 25% crit damage. For each enemy that has vulnerable, gain 5% crit chance up to a maximum of 25%. If this character has 4 more vigilante allies, non-mythic enemies cannot have their speed increase except by positive effects. Very, very, very good. And there is the T4 there for you. That has been it for Hitmonkey. Moving on to Silver Sable. Silver Sable is a hero city skill blaster mercenary Spider-Verse vigilante, recommending Raider. Silver Sable is a 3-piece gear character with a unique of Judas bullets. At 1.2 million power, Silver Sable has 10.4 million health, 621,000 damage, 336,000 armor, 96,000 focus, 78,000 resistance, 155% crit damage, 40% crit chance, 128 speed, so she will be taking the first turn. 0% dodge chance, 0% block chance, 25% block amount, and 100% accuracy. So since she's taking the first turn, I always recommend Raider whenever somebody takes the first turn, unless they're putting out vulnerables for somebody. The basic is Point Blank. Attack primary target for 310% damage and flip 3 positive effects into negative effects. And I know a lot of you are probably going to say, oh man, that's a really great striker. But remember, she takes the first turn, so you want to get those vulnerables out there for your other 2 strikers on the team that are Daredevil Modern and Hitmonkey. And there you have the T4. This special is Insertion Protocol. Energy cost of 5/5. In raids, clear barrier from all enemies. Flip all positive effects into negative effects on primary and adjacent targets. Attack primary and adjacent targets for 280% damage. Apply slow and 2 bleed. And there you have the T4. The ultimate is Flash and Clear. This is going to be a turn 1 ability with an energy cost of 6/6. Apply heal block for 2 turns and disrupt it for 2 turns to all enemies. Clear barrier from all enemies. In raids, clear charged from all enemies. And on offense, if this character has 4 or more vigilante allies, reduce the duration of all positive effects by 2 on all enemies. And that's a turn 1 ability. Attack all enemies for 320% damage. Apply 1 vulnerable up to a maximum of 5. And in raids, you'll be applying trauma for 2 turns to all enemies and applying ability block for 2 turns to 2 random support enemies. This attack gains 500% extra focus and cannot be counterattacked. That is turn 1. Definitely Raider. Definitely don't need the extra focus. And it's going to be absolutely insane. Because when you put vulnerables out as a Raider, you're also going to be putting out more vulnerables for your strikers to go into. Absolutely incredible. And there is the T4 for you. Moving on to the passive Silver Merc. In raids, on spawn, fill speed bar by 15% and 5% speed bar per vigilante ally for self and all vigilante allies. When an enemy has vulnerable as attacked, fill speed bar by 15% for self and all vigilante allies. That is why you want her as a raider. On successful attack by this character, apply defense down for each attacked target. On offense, while this character has 4 or more vigilante allies, lower the enemy dodge chance by 100%. If this character has 4 or more vigilante allies, enemies cannot gain death proof. And there you have it for the T4. And that has been it for Silver Sable. An absolute monster of a first turn character. Wow. And I must tell you, the animations are beautiful. Moving on to Elektra. Her gear will shock you a little bit. Elektra is a Villain City Mystic skill brawler, hand Shadowland vigilante, with a unique of Carbonadium. Now you may be thinking, oh, well, she's an old character. She could be really cheap. Well, she is actually 3 pieces, but the other 2 pieces are only going to be teal pieces. So it's not necessarily going to be hurting you too much with G19 gear going up to G20. So recommending Raider for Elektra at 1.3 million power. Elektra has 10.5 million health, 675,000 damage, 329,000 armor, 114,000 focus, 83,000 resistance, 170% crit damage, 45% crit chance, 114 speed, 7% dodge chance, very interesting, 0% block chance, 25% block amount, and 100% accuracy. The new basic is attack primary target for 250% damage and apply 2 bleed. Gain 1000% extra focus for this attack, and when forced to attack an ally, this character deals less damage to Shadowland characters, of course. And the T4 is 50% damage. The special is Into Shadow with an energy cost of 3/3. Attack primary target for 300% piercing. Apply 2 vulnerable up to a maximum of 5 and clear 5 positive effects. And you will gain stealth for 2 turns. And the T4 is applying the 2 vulnerable. The ultimate is Vital Strike with an energy cost of 5/5. Clear barrier from the primary target. In raids, gain 25% damage per negative effect on that target. Attack primary target for 500% damage. 20% piercing and apply disrupted for 2 turns. Gain 500% extra focus for this attack. And in raids, if the target has 3 or more vulnerables, this attack deals double the damage. Another reason of why you want to constantly be putting out those vulnerables. And on kill, you'll fill speed bar by 80%. The passive is Death's Grace. On spawn, apply evade to self and all adjacent vigilante, Shadowland, and hand allies. So you're definitely going to want Daredevil adjacent to her. Apply stealth to self and all adjacent Shadowland and hand allies. In raids, generate 5 ability energy for self and all vigilante allies. So you're always going to be at the start of energy at the very beginning. I love that they actually gave her use and made her the battery. On death, 15% chance to revive with 100% of this character's max health. If this character has 4 or more Shadowland or vigilante allies, gain 85% chance to revive on death. So if there's 4 or more, she's always going to come back. And the passive T4 is right here. That has been it for Elektra. Moving on to Punisher. Punisher is a Hero City Skill Blaster military vigilante, recommending Raider for Punisher. And Punisher is only a 2-piece character for G20. He has an orange piece here. He has another orange piece here. as well as a teal piece down here in the bottom right. So be sure to take that into consideration when bringing up these reworked characters as well. And he does have a unique of molecular cloth. At 1.3 million power, Punisher is at 11 million health, 688,000 damage, 406,000 armor, 90,000 focus, 83,000 resistance, 170% crit damage, 45% crit chance, 115% speed, 0% dodge chance, 0% block chance, 25% block amount, and 100% accuracy. The basic is attack primary target for 260% piercing, chain to 2 adjacent targets for 260% piercing, and counterattack breaks this chain. And the T4 is just some extra damage. The special is grenade launcher with an energy cost of 4/4, transfer 3 positive effects, and excluding taunt from the primary target to self and all vigilante and all military allies. Attack primary target for 260% piercing and attack all adjacent enemies for 260% piercing as well. And there is the T4 there. The ultimate is fully loaded with an energy cost of 5/5. If this character has 4 or more vigilante allies, clear barrier from all enemies, attack primary target for 250% piercing, and attack all enemies for 250% piercing. So it's going to be 2 attacks, I believe. And the T4 is right there. The passive is lock and load. When an enemy attacks a vigilante ally, if this character has 4 or more vigilante allies, attack that enemy for 125% piercing. When a vigilante or defender ally uses their special ability, attack the most injured enemy for 125% piercing. On hit, apply 1 vulnerable up to a maximum of 5, and in raids, you're going to be applying bleed. This character's attacks deal an additional 50% damage to any villain enemies. And there is the T4 for you as well. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let me know what you guys think about the Vigilante team down in the comments section below. And if you guys would like to join us for some Twitch drops, the link will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. And I will catch all of you guys in the next one.